All right, Tom. Well, it's time to get going on your lovely 6139 8002. Let's go ahead and get it torn down and get it ready to get service. All right, let's start off by removing a few parts here. Okay, 6139A movement, of course. Very clean. All right. Looks really good. Beautiful watch. Come on. Come on. Why is this die shock so sticky? All right. Making it go nuclear here. Going to the rotico. There we go. Okay. That's fine. No problem. All right. So now we can take your movement ring out. It all looks very good. It's seen somewhere. It's got some fuzz in the springs here on the pushers. It's normally indicative of use. All right. Looks really good here. You can tell it's an A. You see this keeper doesn't go around anywhere. The spring for your hammer reset. It looks really good. Some very light wear on your edges here. Yeah, we're going to be putting a new arbor port jewel in here for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and get your movement out of your case. So that is an original but now plastic seal. We'll be replacing that. Oh, lovely. Really nice. Really nice watch. Wow, look at that dial. That is so nice. So nice to see. Very pretty. I love that orange with the little orange highlights around the edge. It's very clean. Really nice. Okay. Okay. Such a pretty dial. Okay, let's go ahead and get your minute recording wheel. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so let's get your dial removed so we can check out some details, of course. It's always nice to have a look. Not that there's really a question on the originality of the watch, it's just one of those intriguing bits of data that you get from these dials and case backs. Okay, so this is a 1-4 here and a 1-3. So about a month apart. 71, 71 from March and April. Cool. Okay. It's nice. All right, so that's your movement exposed, if you will. All right, so now we start the teardown process. Okay, good to go. Get your balance out. A very eager balance. There we go. So it looks like there's one service mark in the case back. I'm not sure when that occurred, but whenever it did, it was such a time that actually perhaps didn't see much use afterwards. I don't know. It's hard to know, but certainly it's in great shape. Was serviced and probably put away. Make sure we don't have any power in here. Yep, good. Ooh, it's a little sticky. Okay. It's interesting. Take a close look at that. Make sure there's no shellac or anything weird in there. Pallet fork. Yeah. Seen better, I've seen worse. Got a little wear. We may have to take another look at that at some point. Do want to look at this. Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. All right, it's just an odd reflection. Okay, let's keep going. Let's get all these pieces disassembled. Apologize if you hear snoring in the background. Those are the ever-present helpers. Ever present. keeping me informed of their sleeping. You can see you have a staked intermediary gear here, which was what was on the A movements, not on the B's. So there's no gearing, separate gearing here. Okay. Nice, clean movement. So lovely to see that. These old style levers. Screws are nice and tight. That's always a good sign as well. Whoa! Popped right off. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's all right. Off we go. Very simple on the A movements. No extra pieces and parts for interlocking that. Let's go ahead and get this. No cover plate. The A's are always interesting to see. All right. A little bit lower profile movement. Not as tall as the B's. Thinner. Alright, well, off you come. And there we go. Let's get your click spring off. Okay, here are the wonderful and beautiful components. Here's your chronograph wheel, slightly shorter than the one that's on the B's, but still yours is holding nicely. I'm starting to think that perhaps your chronograph sweep hand might have been painted, because this has orange on this tip, which would mean that it was perhaps painted in situ, mounted on the chronograph wheel. I don't know. Mainspring, barrel, there's your third wheel. Escape wheel. Let's check here. That's good. Not very loose. Had real trouble recently with some 6000 series movements that have had loose jewels that just aren't in the right spot. But yours look okay. See a little bit of perhaps hair down here. Oh yeah, small little tiny hair right on your third wheel pivot. Interesting. Okay. Happens sometimes to the best of us. Right. Get you focused in here. All right, let's take the calendar components off. Take your C-clip. It's interesting on the A movements, these rings, they don't have the designation of what language there is. So it's simply just the days of the week without it saying English, Spanish, or English, whatever, French, blah, blah. It's interesting. Perhaps not that interesting, but interesting. The distinctions between how things changed over time. There's another one of those movements with no plastic parts except for one piece, and that's underneath of your corrector wheel here. Finger. They're robust. They don't usually have an issue, so it's not unheard of. There we go. Okay. Date wheel. Correcting spring. All right. Quick date lever. Okay, so a couple pieces. So let's take this off while we're here. Metal intermediary wheel. All metal parts. Nice to see. Minute wheel. It's the second one I've seen that's put on upside down. It's supposed to go like that. Funny. It's funny. Nice tight cannon pinion. That's good to see. Your center wheel. Take your die shock out. Let's see if there's any lubrication under your cap jewel. Where's my magnifier? Nope. Not a drop. Not a drop. That's all right. There will be in a moment. Come on out. There we go. All right, let's get your keyless works disassembled. So nice to see one of these. It's remained dry for its entire life. No rust or issues that are hard to deal with. Makes the service much, much better. Much more straightforward. Okay, with that, your winding pinion, and we are ready for the jeweling. I'm going to jewel this arbor port, get you 100%, and start the process. All right, we'll be back. Okay, Tom. Well, we are here out of the cleaners and ready to get you going. So, of course, want to point out you've got a lovely new jewel in your lower mainspring arbor port right here. This is a Blair-Klein collaboration that results in really nice things for our customers. So happy about that. And it's got its associated upper mainspring arbor port jewel, which is right there. Come back to that. Okay. So we're going to lubricate your center jewel and your new jewel. All right, so let's get your center wheel checked out. No extra fuzz or pieces. Okay. So nice. So nice. Okay. All right, so let's look at your third wheel really closely. No fuzz, no dust. Awesome. Alrighty. Put your chronograph wheel in place. Alright, let's look at your escape wheel. All right, there's your train. Good. And there we go. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Everybody fit. Getting in their proper places right away. It's nice. The only thing about the A movements over the B movements is that there's a lack of adjustment. They switched for a reason, and the reason is that your hammer and your levers aren't really adjustable in the same way between the A's and the B's. The B's have more adjustable sort of components. These are fixed studs here for like the hammer, and that can be problematic for reset if things get worn. But I don't expect that to be an issue with yours because it started off working fine. It can be an issue for movements. They don't have a lot of adjustment. It can be hard to get things right. Okay, so let's go ahead and lubricate all of your chronograph components here. Studs for your levers and for your column wheel. Let's lubricate your put your operating levers in place. Good. Okay. Oh, please. Don't be disagreeable. Screw. Right, let's get your bushing. There we go. Let's get the outer edge of that bushing lubricated. Now we can put your column wheel. Get that little lubrication before we get too far. Okay, good. All right. Let's put your springs in. Oh, actually, getting ahead of myself. Get your click. And your ratchet wheel. right. Take one last look at your brand new upper mainspring arbor port jewel, because it's going underneath. Okay. Now we can put your spring in place. Okay. Put your hammer on. There we go. Now your spring. Okay. Let's get your spring in place. Excellent. Okay. So there we go. Now we got to put your chronograph minute recording wheel. Tiny drop of lubrication on this one. Oops. Come back. Don't escape. You know, actually, before I do that, get this lubrication away. There we go. Just want it in the spot where we want it, not anywhere else. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. All right. Now, let's check all of our work. I think we're in good shape. Everybody's in. Time to put your chronograph bridge. It's good to see. Got some action out of your center wheel, chronograph wheel. Fourth wheel, I should say. Come on. Everybody sit down. Make sure everybody's meshed together and happy. Okay. Lots of little springs and things to make sure align properly on this process. Lots of pivots, and of course one less pivot for this because you have a staked wheel. But that should be nice and free running. That's good. All right, let's put some lubrication on your reset spring. Make sure that's nicely lubricated, not too much, but enough to be sure. That's a pretty high impact area. All right, the last screw. Let me tighten everybody up. That's good. Okay, Very good. Okay. So we're going to flip your movement over now and put your cannon pinion on and lubricate your other side. All right. On your escape wheel and your third wheel. A little more heavy-duty lubricant on your center wheel for your cannon pinion. Make sure that's nice and lubricated because that is a slip stick kind of joint that has to turn when you're setting the time, but also stay when it's just the normal function of the watch. Okay, now we take this opportunity to put your pre-lubricated die shock. So that cap jewel has lubrication under it using a special oiler. And then we have to actually put your die shock setting firmly down with this. All right, I have to do that off camera because I can't see. Right, all right. We are 2 steps closer to watching this movement run. You have to put in your pallet fork, and then we drop your balance. All right, so your pallet fork has been lubricated as well. So let's go ahead and grab that. Okay. Good. Good, good, good. Free movement, nothing binding. That's what we want. Okay, good. So now we can add some power back into your mainspring. Let's open up your operating levers. We have one more jewel to lubricate. That's this one here. And your pivot, of course, for your... There we go. Okay. Now, the moment of truth. The moment we all wait for. Ooh, come on. Stand up. There we go. And there we have it. The start of the process. Let's get some screws in here. Get everything hunkered down and leveled out. Okay, there's one. And there's 2. Now your jewel. Make everybody nice and flat and solid. There we go. Okay. All right, there we go. We are running. Let's see how we did.
All right, Tom. Well, I thought I hit record while I was doing your adjustment, but it turns out I didn't. However, that was only about maybe 2 minutes of actual work. So yeah, we're pretty much where we want to be. Um, I'm really happy with these numbers. We're gonna let this break in and get itself, sort of settled down, of course. And I'd say we're pretty darn good. We're starting off in the 230s. A little bit of variation in rate, but I've got my sampling speed really high, so I'm sampling every few seconds, which finds all the slight variations. But I'd say an average of high 220s, mid 230s, right off the bat is exactly what we want to see. So happy with this. We're gonna let this run in, and we'll finish up. All right. Looks good. Oh, those are good numbers. Oh yeah, that's what we want to see. Nice and flat. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, Tom, I'm happy. This is where we want to be.
All right, Tom. Well, performance is just off the charts. So we're flirting with 240, 245 in the amplitude with essentially no beat error and no zero rate. So looking good. I think that means we are ready to move towards the end here. Get your calendar side taken care of and your keyless works. And we're going to begin getting you back together, getting both your watches back home, which is exciting. All right. Well, luckily this is the part that doesn't really require too much challenge in terms of all the small components that are associated with the movement, of course. These are fairly straightforward. Lubricate all your posts and make sure we're doing a good job of keeping everybody nicely lubricated. Of course, we're using a little bit of grease here because we've got high friction spots for your day and date change. Make sure everybody's happy. Happiness comes from good lubrication. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I think. All right. All right, so now come on. Make sure your teeth are. These take a lot of work on these, so make sure that's in good shape. All right. Get your stem. Which has a new gasket, of course. Okay. Come now. Right, a couple screws, and then your keyless works are together. Very simple keyless works, but with a lot of cool functionality. Very little in the way of complications and springs and wheels and levers, but does a pretty neat job of integrating the quick date, quick day. All right, let's go ahead and get the rest of your wheels installed. We can put all your plates back in and be done. Ooh, come on. Stay with me. The soundtrack of my life behind me, snoring dogs. Sorry if you can hear that, but they're an ever-presence. My ever-present companions. Okay. Right. get your date wheel. Alrighty. Okay, well, there it is. Let's get your day wheel in place. Good. Now for your C-clip. All right. Let's see how we did. That looks great. Okay. Should be your day, date, and then your day. Good. Excellent. Okay. Well, next are dial and hands, and then we reassemble. We'll be back. Okay, Tom. Well, we're back with dial and hands, and we're ready to recase your watch movement and get everything buttoned up for the end. Done some lubrication on all the important components here. Just want to go back over everything one more time, be sure we're ready to go. Everything looks great. Such a nice movement and really, really great looking case. I mean, this watch in general is just so nice. All right, so now take our last few steps here. Okay, flip you over. Okay, so let's get your movement retaining ring in place. Again, your stem. Everybody's been pre-lubricated with some silicone. Make sure that's nice and clean. All right. Let's get your springs back in place. Alrighty. Oop. Get your pushers with their new O-rings, new grease. Alrighty. Excellent. Okay. That's that. Now, let's go ahead and put your winding components. They've been pre-lubricated, so they're all ready to go. Get your pawl lever. Put back on here. Right. Looks great. Round and round we go. Excellent. Okay. Now for your winding weight. And that is the way we do that. Okay, last thing is your case back, which has your new gasket installed. Right. And there we are. Your beautiful 1971 6139 8002 with all of its beautiful brushing, high polished surfaces, lovely hands and dial. What a great looking watch. Okay, well, let's go over everything. Of course, this is watch number 2, and so you know, it's running just as it should. It's running fantastic in my opinion. I mean, these things can really zoom if they're right, and this started off life as a really clean movement, so I think that, you know, the process is straightforward if we're, you know, careful, but, you know, it's always good to start in a good spot. So not a lot of miles on this movement, at least in terms of, you know, hard-earned miles, no water, no issues, no corrosion. We put new jewels in your mainspring arbor, essentially turning this thing into a forever watch. So all of your seals, and there's another one deep down in there, stuck. But new seals on all sealing surfaces, pushers, and your crown has a new seal. There's your old bushing from your upper mainspring arbor port. Here's your old, very, very stiff plasticized gasket on the back. So that will come back to you. Yeah, everything's working just as it should. Your chronograph is ticking along. Let's go through your day and date change. So clicking over the day and date, straightforward. Hands align nicely. There we are at 6. Good alignment. And we should come over the date and now the day. All right, we do our quick date, quick day. Oop, we should do that not at 3. And there that is. Oop, it's a little hard with these finger cuts to push. Push. Let's reset your chronograph while we're here. Okay, so that does what it's supposed to do. There's your day and date change, as it should do. Overall, you know, a beautiful watch. I really, really like this. I have one like this, but it is not anywhere near this good in condition. Mine's a faded, wasted mess, but this is immaculate. Really nice. All right, well, Tom, thanks so much, and I'll be in touch, and we'll get these home to you.